Well, hello, you beautiful people out there. My name is Wendy Lyon, the Financial Lion, and I am here today to empower you with 5 simple steps to financial success that you can start implementing right away to get your future back on track and achieve that financial success that you long for, have the future that and the retirement that you've always dreamed of. So, how let me just tell you a little bit about myself first. For 2 decades, I have been helping make my clients' financial futures fabulous. And the reason I can say that, I'll give you a couple different examples. I had one gentleman, he was a 50-year-old client, and he had money in an IRA. He had just added another $10,000 to his account, and that year it just went up in smoke. So his IRA was looking more like a stock market IOU rather than growing the way that he had anticipated. So we stopped the bleeding. We put it into a vehicle that is now going to turn $50,000 into over $1 million in income. So that is one of the examples that I have of what I can do for my clients. I'll give you another one. I had a grandmother that her son had passed away and left behind a 2 and a 4-year-old, 2 little girls, which you'll find out in a minute I could completely relate to. She had $10,000 to invest in each of their lives, and I wasn't getting any wow results with what I was looking at. So I thought outside the box and thought, well, what if we put them in this vehicle? And thanks to the time value of money, that $10,000 turns into over $1 billion with a B during their lifetime. They will be multi millionaires when they're in their 60s. So their retirement is going to be fabulous. I had another young lady come to me. She was single. She wasn't married. She didn't have any kids, but she said, Wendy, you came to me very highly recommended. I'm not going to shop you. What can we do to plan for my retirement? So we settled on a budget that was really good for her, something that wouldn't fall by the wayside if she had a few bad months or if COVID happened or something like that. Because if we put something into your life, we want to make sure it's going to stay there for the long haul, right? That when life's unexpected events happen, it's not going to be derailed. It's not going to fall by the wayside. So during the course of her life, she'll put in $222,000, and that grows into $5.4 million, all tax-free. And unlike an IRA or a 401k where you can't access it until you're 59 and a half without paying a 10% penalty, this is cash that she can use throughout the course of her life. Whether she gets married, she's had 2 kids now, and now she can use it for their college funding or for their weddings or whatever it might be. She's not locked out of her money. And unlike an IRA or a 401k, putting your money into a permanent life insurance policy is only one of 3 ways where you can grow your money tax-free. So one is a Roth IRA, one is maybe some government bonds, and the other is life insurance. So life insurance isn't only good if you die. Life insurance is really good if you live, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's get into the 5 simple steps for financial success. Step number 1, pay yourself first. Why do I say that? Because if you don't pay yourself first, number 1, who will? And number 2, the reason we want to pay yourself first is because this is going to become your savings. This is going to become the cushion, right? It's like the difference between sitting in a hard wooden chair or you have a pillow on the chair. The pillow makes it so much more comfortable. Having savings set aside is going to make your life more comfortable. When those unexpected events arise, whether you need new tires on your car or there's a clog in the kitchen sink and you need to pay a plumber, whatever it might be, I'm the poster child for life's unexpected events, so let me tell you. So when you have that cushion set aside, you're going to feel more confident. You're going to be less stressed, right? You're going to be more charitable. You're going to be kinder. All of these good things are going to happen simply because you have that savings set aside. And it doesn't have to be a ton. It could be a little bit. You know, if you started saving money when you were 20 years old and you only put $13 away, $13 away each month, that would grow into $1 million by the time you're age 67. So little changes right now can have a big impact in your future. But the important thing to do is remember to start today, right? Because I'm sure you've heard the saying, yesterday is past, tomorrow is a gift, today is the present, or tomorrow is not promised, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present, right? So the time to act is today, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. As I said, I'm the poster child for life's unexpected events. So I've had 7 car accidents. I've had 7 near fatal illnesses. I've had 7 surgeries. I've even been hit by a truck and lived to tell the tale. So I know that life has unexpected events, and believe me, you want to plan for those and put some money aside, because whether you're making $40,000 a year, $400,000, or $4 million, if you're spending every dime that comes in, you are still living at poverty level. You might be doing it in a nicer car, have a nicer house, but you're still living at poverty level. So keep that in mind. Step number 2, protect yourself. I want to get across to you that you are your most valuable asset. It's your ability to go out and earn an income that first and foremost needs to be protected. I have learned this lesson the hard way. I was widowed very young. My husband was only 24. He died in a motorcycle accident, and we had a whopping $20,000 of life insurance. Now, nobody wakes up and thinks, I'm going to die today. You know, how much life insurance should I have? So I get that. But if he was making $40,000 a year, and just for easy math, if he was going to retire at 64, 40 years times $40,000 is $1.6 million. That's the true economic cost of what his death cost our family. And if we had prepared for that, Lord, I wasn't smart enough probably back then to have done it, even if I did know, but our lives would have been so different. You know, I was a single mom, and it was living paycheck to paycheck and never any cushion. There wasn't any extra money to save. But now I learned from my mistakes. And all of that knowledge, I'm 64 years old now, so I have a lot of knowledge that I have applied, and when you apply knowledge, it becomes wisdom. And that's why I'm here, because I want to impart that to you so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. I learned the hard way, so you don't have to, okay? So step 3. You want to create a budget and stick to it. Live within your means. And now some people might say, oh, she said the budget word. I don't like that. But let me tell you, if you don't keep track of your money, your tomorrow is going to go off the rails. Maybe, and it's very simple. In fact, there's plenty of budgets that you can find online. And if you need help setting one up, by all means, reach out to me. I actually did an event one time called Bagels, Budgets, and Broads, oh my. And we set up everybody's budget all at once so they were good to go. But the thing about having a budget, and it's very simple, you're just going to list your income and expenses, right? But if you find out that, hey, we're spending $800 a month going out to eat because I hate to cook, well, maybe you could get one of the home meal delivery services for $8 to $10 a dinner, rather than going out to dinner and spending anywhere from maybe $15 to $30. You know, maybe you don't realize that Starbucks effect is costing you $180 a month or something like that. So there is money to be found when you put a budget together. And maybe instead of eating out for lunch every day at Subway, you bring a sandwich to work a couple days a week, and you're not paying $10 or $15 eating at Subway or Jersey Mike's or something like that. So once you have a budget in place, you can see where your money's going, and you can make decisions that are going to allow you to pay yourself first, get some of that savings in there, be able to protect yourself, and keep going, right? I'm a budget freak, so I'm a receipt nut. My husband is very well trained. My husband that I married in 2000, and I keep track of everything to make sure that we are on course. So I practice what I preach. I'm not asking you to do a thing that I don't do myself. Okay, step 4. Make your money work for you. Now, if you're putting money aside so that you can get that into a savings account, Don't just leave it in a savings account earning nothing. You can go online and ask which banks pay the highest interest rate on a savings account, a money market account, what money market accounts have a zero minimum deposit. Some might require $10,000 or $20,000, but there are money market accounts out there that have a zero minimum deposit. The other thing I want to tell you is life insurance, as I mentioned, isn't just good if you die. When I have a life insurance conversation with my clients, it's because you're going to live, right? Because life insurance has a lot of and I'm talking about permanent life insurance. Term insurance is the term that you get maybe for 10, 20, 30, maybe some companies, depending on your age, will even do a 40-year term. But what I'm talking about, and that's great if that's what your budget allows, but if you're young and even 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, I would highly recommend that you get permanent life insurance, because now you're going to be paying into something that's going to grow. The cash value is going to grow. And that, again, like my 20-something-year-old client, it's cash that you have available to use throughout your life. I practice what I preach. So the thing about life insurance, I think I mentioned there's only 3 ways to have your money grow tax-free. One is a Roth IRA, one is life insurance, and maybe some government bonds or something like that. If you're making $150,000 a year, putting $5,500 a year into a Roth IRA when it's completely at market risk is not going to get you $150,000 in retirement, right? I had one client, you decide how much money you want to put into a life insurance policy. I had one client that was putting in $100,000 a year. He was going to do that for 3 years, and then he was done. And now he has this great tax-free retirement income that he can draw from. He has money in stocks, but if the stock market's down, you don't want to pull from that account. You want to pull from your life insurance. Let the stock market account recover, and then your life insurance recovers. You know what I mean? So you have these 2 buckets to draw from, and they complement each other beautifully. So that is, and I practice what I preach. We have $25,000 a year that we're paying into a life insurance policy for 10 years, and that's going to give us another $1 million in retirement income, all tax-free. That's the only way that you can get that done. I mean, there are other ways if you have, depending on how much wealth you have. But if you're an average everyday person, these are tricks and tips that the wealthy do that the masses really don't know about. They're not aware of. I wasn't aware of it until I got into this industry. So like I said, if I knew then what I know now, how much different would our life have been? That said, though, my husband and I have both lost our incomes the same day, not once, but twice. So I always try to get across, if I could do that, implementing what I'm recommending to you, these 5 simple steps to financial success, and I could plan for our retirement coming back from nothing. Imagine what you could do if you have something to start with, or even if you have nothing to start with. I can take you by the hand and go, look at, this is what I did. Here's how you can do it too. So I want to give you hope that you can have the future that you desire. You can come back from nothing. You can create a retirement that gives you that security that I certainly long for. I mean, I'm 64. I don't want to be going, greeting at Walmart. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but how much nicer to know that we are taken care of. And as I said, I practice what I preach. So it's not like I had some magic wand. I'm just doing what I recommend to my clients because I know it works. I'm living proof. So what is the 5th step? The 5th step is protect your identity. Identity theft happens every 3 seconds in the United States. I don't know what it is in other countries, but there's so many hackers, there's phishing scams, there's muling, there's all of these various different things that are going on. So I highly recommend, and again, this is another thing I do, get with LifeLock or get with, Experian has a credit monitoring service. Even Legal Shield has a very good credit monitoring service where they also monitor your social media. They have a $3 million resolution, that an attorney will get back your good name, all of that stuff, and your online reputation. So you don't want to build this good name for yourself, a good FICO score, be able to pay your bills, plan your retirement, do all this stuff, and then it's all just the rug is pulled out from under you. So definitely have some way to monitor your credit. So just to reiterate, step 1, pay yourself first. Step 2, protect yourself. You are your most valuable asset, right? Number 3, create a budget and live within your means. You can do it. Step 4, you want to make your money work for you. And step 5, definitely have some sort of credit monitoring service so that you're not taken by surprise. Somebody doesn't come and take all of this good stuff that you've done all away from you. Now, if you would like to know how I did what I did and how you can get to where I am now or beyond. I always think if you want to get from point A to point B, find someone at point B and see how they got there. I'm at point B, and I want to help you get there too. And the way to do that is to go to thefinanciallion.com/schedule. My name is spelled Lyon, so it's thefinanciallion.com/schedule. And for all the guests in this audience today, I'm giving away a free financial strategy session. And I promise you, by the time we get together, you will be empowered, you'll be informed, you'll be more educated to make better financial decisions, or even to review some of the ones you've made. Maybe you have money in places where it would serve you better to move it somewhere else. I love to put my clients in vehicles that are going to get them to their desired destination in the most effective, risk-free, and guaranteed even way possible. So if you would like to be informed and educated and empowered, because that's what She Leads Vision Fest is all about, right? About empowering women. Go to thefinanciallion.com/schedule and get on my calendar. It fills up quick, so don't hesitate. Do it today, right? There's no time like today to make a big impact on your tomorrow. So I hope I see you soon. Have an awesome day, and thank you so much for spending this time with me.